Hello my dear learners, welcome to my channel. My name is Namita and today's topic is 8 things to avoid while learning spoken English. So if your aim is to speak fluent English, there are things which you should never do. Please avoid these things. We keep telling you do this, do that, do this, but in this video I'm going to tell you don't do these things. Yes, this video is about what things you are not supposed to do when you are in your journey of learning English speaking, especially the speaking part. So the first thing is avoid studying too much grammar. Now I have talked about it so many times on this channel that please don't pay a lot of attention to English grammar, because grammar confuses you further. It confuses your mind. You get stuck in between the rules, the tenses, the verbs, the subject verb agreement, the object and the subject and everything. You get stuck in between where to use adjective, how to use prepositions, this, that. It confuses you. It doesn't ease the speaking part for you. Speaking means that the words should simply just flow out of your mouth, word after word, sentence after sentence. For that, you don't have to study too much grammar. In fact, even if you don't study anything, if you practice, just practice, then you can be fluent. So don't study grammar too much. Like basic for the beginners level, yes, you can do a bit of basic rules, but if you're paying a lot of attention to it, you'll get stuck somewhere. Then you can only be an English teacher who cannot speak English but can teach others grammar. That's it. But if you want to be fluent, then keep grammar aside and focus on your practice part. The second thing is avoid translation method. Yes, I keep telling this all the time that stop using translation method. If you're using Hindi or your mother tongue as the basis and you translate it into English and this is your method, this is how you are taught, then this is not the right way. You will always be following your mother tongue. You will never switch from your mother tongue to English, and that is not what you want. If you really want to speak English fluently, then you have to start thinking in English, because translation means you think in Hindi and then you speak in English. That is what is not making you fluent. That is what is keeping you away from speaking English confidently. So avoid translation method. Think in English. The language in which you are thinking and the language in which you are speaking, if is the same, then only you'll be fluent, then only you'll be speaking English confidently. So never use translation method. If you have any dictionary which tells you the meaning of English words in Hindi or in your native language, then throw it away. You don't need it. If you have books where there is an English sentence and its Hindi meaning is written, you don't need that. You need all English content. Buy books which are only English. Initially you might find it hard, but sooner or later you'll be able to speak English wonderfully well, just like any person who you think or who you admire, whose English you admire, you are going to speak in the same manner as that person. So for that, avoid translation method. Now, one thing I want to tell especially all the youngsters: stop working on achieving an accent. When I keep telling you watch more of English movies, Hollywood movies, consume English content, you go to Netflix and watch all those series, movies, everything. What you do, you just pick up that accent. You don't need an accent. Having an accent is not the measurement of correct English. When you are watching a Hollywood movie, this movie is made in an English country. It has all the actors who are native speakers from US, UK. These people are born with an English tongue. We are born in a country where English is not our first language. So how can we have an accent? It looks super fake. You don't have to roll your tongue in the similar manner. Hey mom, I'm going to practice my English speaking today. You don't need to speak like that. Hello ma'am, I'm going to practice my English speaking today. Isn't it sufficient? You should aim at speaking English correctly with good pronunciation. You don't need to use R, hey, how are you guys gonna do? You use a lot of gonna, gotta, wanna. What do you want? What do you wanna do? This is not how we speak. This is not our way of speaking. I always say copy them, but don't copy an accent. You don't have to have an accent. That's why I say switch on the subtitles so that you can read. Listen to them, but read your own sentence and speak in your own way. We are Indians. We don't need to have that accent, all right? So never aim on having an accent. Please avoid speaking with an accent. It looks very fake. It is not a measurement of good English. Good English means that you are able to convey your thought, your idea, or your whatever is there in your mind which you wanted to convey in a proper manner. The person is able to understand your English and you are speaking fine. Keep it simple. Don't even aim for using heavy vocabulary, and especially don't go for having an accent. Okay, so this fourth point, avoid taking English classes from someone who teaches in Hindi. In India, we have so many tutors and so many trainers and so many teachers who will teach you English in Hindi. Yes, they cannot speak English themselves, but they have opened an institute and they claim that they can make you speak very well in English. Please avoid taking classes from such people. Find yourself a trainer or a tutor who himself or herself is fluent in English, because they know how to speak well in English. Always go for someone who knows English himself. They might know the rules, they might know the grammar, they might know the details of English, but if they cannot speak, what's the point? If you really want to speak in English, then go for a trainer who is fluent and very confident in English. Only they can make you fluent and confident. So with knowledge for any particular field, take it from someone who has that knowledge. So never hire a trainer or a tutor for yourself who teaches you English in Hindi. They will tell you the meaning of every vocabulary word in Hindi. Then they will tell you meaning of every sentence in Hindi. They will teach you all the time in Hindi. In that 1 hour session, you will listen to more of Hindi than English. Then how will you become fluent? Don't do that. That's the biggest mistake. Avoid that. The fifth point, stop listening to those friends, relatives who say that English is difficult. You will come across so many people who will keep telling you that English is so difficult. Oh, it is such a difficult language. I have been working on it for past 2 years and nothing has changed. I still cannot speak. English is difficult. No, English is not difficult. It is a very simple language. If you can speak Hindi, then trust me, you can speak better English, because Hindi is much more difficult language. Sanskrit is much more difficult. Urdu is much more difficult. English is very simple. It is just that you have to use your intelligence and give your time and keep practicing it every day. Make it a part of your life. But don't listen to those people who keep scaring you all the time that English is difficult. No, it is not difficult. It's just a skill. We are already doing 1,000 things in our lives. We will do it easily. We can get through this level as well. You can speak English in a very simple manner. Don't make it a taboo. It is not a taboo. Take it simply and learn it simply. The sixth point, avoid comparing yourself with others. Half of the problem is solved when you stop the comparison game. The thing is that we are always comparing ourselves to the speakers who are better than us. We are all different. Specifically when you compare yourself with the native speakers. They are born in a country where English is their first language. When they learn their first word, it is English only, because their parents, their teachers, their relatives, everybody speaks English. Now you are born in a country where no one speaks English. Around you, everybody is speaking Hindi or whatever is your mother tongue. So no one speaks English. That is the problem. You have to work hard on your English. That is why you have to put a little more stress on it. Don't compare yourself to native speakers. They are born in a country. They are born in an English speaking country. There is no comparison. We are all different. Don't compare yourself to people from different states that they can speak very well. Everybody will speak English differently. South Indians, even if they are very fluent, they'll speak English in a different manner. People from Northeast will speak completely differently. People from Haryana, Punjab will have a different accent. People from different parts of our country will speak English differently. There is no comparison. Stop this comparison game and then see the difference. Your confidence will rise. So no comparisons are needed. The next thing that you have to avoid is the fear of making mistakes. Don't be scared of making mistakes. Whenever we are learning something new, we tend to make mistakes. It's not a big deal. Make mistakes, learn from them, make new mistakes, learn from them. So mistakes are a part of our personality. Mistakes make us improve ourselves. So if we will not make mistakes, we'll be perfectionists. When will we improve? We should always leave some scope of improvement. So with perfection any which way is not possible, so don't aim for that. Make mistakes. Initially you'll do that, you'll improve them, you'll make no new mistakes, so we'll keep improving till we are alive. Don't worry about mistakes. We all make mistakes. None of us is a perfectionist, so you should not aim for perfection too. Now, last but not the least, avoid separating English from the rest of your life. You watch this video and then you never think of English, you never practice English. You go to your institute for 1 hour, then you come back home and never practice English. You cannot do it. You cannot separate English from the rest of your life. You have to include it in every part of your life. If you're watching a movie, watch an English movie. If you're listening to songs, listen to an English song. If you're getting ready in the morning, start talking to yourself in English. Make English a part of your life. When you are standing in front of the mirror combing your hair, give yourself instructions. If you're cooking, then keep giving yourself instructions. Talk about the spices name in English. Talk about the recipe in English. Everything, whatever you're doing, do it in English till you are fluent. You have to do it. So if you keep separating it, if you are keeping English away from the rest of your life, then you're never going to be fluent. The people who are fluent can speak fluently at any time of the day. So you also have to speak English all across the day. Do different activities in English only. Whichever content you are consuming, consume it in English only. Don't limit it to your classes or your tuitions. You have to make English a part of your routine, part of your life. So this was all about the things that you have to avoid. Just avoid doing these things and then see that you are going to improve and you are going to step forward to more fluent English. I'm going to see you in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself. Keep practicing your English every day. Bye-bye for now.